is it that we don't learn from history? What's the problem? If the Supreme Court nullified the previous election for the same reasons, including notification of the elections itself, why are we then preparing to conduct elections with 21 days notice?
You see, the whole thing looks to me a complete aberration. Section 305 is very clear of the Constitution. That tells us when you can do state of emergency. When there is war, or there is expectation of a war that we are being invaded, there is complete breakdown in law and order, or there is, the possibility is there. So these are the circumstances. So, and once those Section 305 kicks in, it is expected that democracy will wait. Which is what the president did by saying, Governor, you wait. House of Assembly, you wait. So who is organizing this election now?
A good question. Does the administrator have the constitutional powers?
The governor is described in the Constitution. It does not include an administrator. What they are doing is simply a complete aberration. There is a rape of the Constitution. It says Section 7 of the same Constitution tells you that it's the democratically elected type of local government is guaranteed. That is what we ought to. How do you talk of election and you say there is complete breakdown of law and order? If you can hold local government elections, what it tells me, Oba Madu Abuchi, is that there is no need for any state of emergency. That the things have normalized. That they should lift the state of emergency. Let the governor come back. You don't give him a fair complete. Like we say in Igbo, you give him salt and then you ask the rainmaker to, so that the salt is more. How can he come back? You suspend him illegally, in my view. Then you now take away the complete local government system from him, then bring him back as a lame duck. How can he deliver? I don't know what people say. I support Tinubu to some extent, yes, but in this instance, I don't agree with him at all.
Is this really Tinubu when Wike is the one conducting the election here?
No, who caused the state of emergency?
In the first place. Okay, you blame him for the start of all of this.
And Latif is somebody I respect a lot, the AG. I've said that on a number of occasions. And I'm not sure they consulted him. You wouldn't have told them to declare state of emergency for what? When people are at the park entering motor from Port Harcourt to Aba, when you are holding stakeholders meetings, when students are going to school, when people are when hospitals are open, when planes are landing and taking off, internationally and local planes. So how can you talk of state of emergency?
Great. What do you then say to supporters who say that the poll must happen before they believe September 18 is when the president should lift the state of emergency? They're saying there should be no vacuum, and so these polls should hold before then. Is there any constitutional allowance for bending such rules?
There is no. The thing is, like I don't know how we got to this place. We can't escape the fact that state of emergency was very unnecessary. We cannot escape from it. Anything you call vacuum, whatever you say, it originated from that state of emergency, which to me, they should have lifted yesterday. Let this man come back, bring back the House of Assembly, let them sort their problems out. Rivers Independent Electoral Commission will now conduct local government elections under a democratic atmosphere, not under a military atmosphere.
This Rivers State local government election that is about to hold this month of August, there is no way you want to argue that that's not an aberration of our constitution. Like the man puts it, it is a rape on our constitution. So for me, this Rivers local government election is Tinubu's crime against Nigeria's democracy. You see this Rivers State election, this local government election, is Tinubu's criminality against Nigeria's democracy. An illegal state of emergency was called, a military personnel was imposed on the people, and then now a military personnel that the Constitution does not recognize, is about to conduct a local government election. You make that make sense. You use the Section 305. I don't know if you've ever read it. There are only 5 reasons to call state of emergency in any states in Nigeria. The Federation is at war, Nigeria is in imminent danger of invasion or actual breakdown of public order and safety, which was not the case. There's a natural disaster or epidemic, that was not the case. There's any other public danger that threatens the sovereignty, unity, and security of Nigeria. Any. And that was not the case. The president, obviously, the last one, received a request from the state governor, which he didn't get. So anything outside of this, he does not have any right. So, but they jumped on 2 of this, where the Constitution says any other public danger, where there was none. And under these guys, they want to do a local government election where you've said there is threat to people's lives in Rivers State and you want to conduct a local government election. That lets you know that what this man called a rape on our Constitution is exactly what it is. And that's why I described it as Tinubu's criminality against Nigeria's democracy. For somebody who I've been told several times not to describe him as that, but somebody calls himself a Democrat, or who has been described as a Democrat by so many people, will rape our Constitution in broad daylight, and the Judiciary will keep quiet while the National Assembly gives an assent to it to say, yes, they support it. But you know what? The Constitution also says that the National Assembly must approve it before it is called. But what they did was they called a state of emergency, and the National Assembly approved it. It should not have been that way. Okay? And it must be done within 2 days. You can see, remember the story that happened, but that's not the case. What I'm trying to stress here is that they're trying to seize all of the Rivers State infrastructure. They've done that with the president, with the government already, and they're going to do that with the local government. By the time they bring back Fubara, it will be a lame duck governor who can just sit right there and they tell him what to do, and he just goes ahead to do it. They tell him Fubara jump, he says how high. Fubara sit, he says how low. That's what I think they want to do. They want to seize the entire River State infrastructure, make sure that they have their own people there. When it comes to 2027, they can easily rig the election in River State. It's just the agenda. The agenda was always towards 2027, and obviously give Wike the room to still remain as a godfather, a demi-godfather in River State, just as Bola Tinubu was from 1999 in Lagos State. You see, so for a constitution that does not recognize an administrator, that criminality of an administrator is the one they want to now use to, you know, carry out a local government election, something that shouldn't be happening. So if there's no complete breakdown of law and order, if people are going about their businesses and you want to conduct a local government election, it is clear that there's nothing to threaten the peace of Nigeria anymore. And by saying that, you will by all means allowed to now return the government back, and because now there's peace and safety if you say there wasn't any before. So every illegality you've seen happen in River State is, as I said, under this sole administrator, is Tinubu's criminality against Nigeria, Nigeria's democracy. Whether or not you like it, whether or not you're a supporter of Tinubu, you have to accept it. And even the same Bola Tinubu said that no president has the power to remove a state governor. And he has done that. He has violated everything about it. See, let me break this down. For Tinubu to be president, Nigeria's constitution has to be suspended, reread a different way, interpreted a different way for Tinubu to be president. You have to understand that. You have to go back to the origin. And by sole reason of that, everything that Tinubu must do, he must do outside of the constitution. And what you're seeing so far is exactly what is going on across the length and breadth of Nigeria, because all Tinubu is bothered about is being president a second time. It was never about, somebody actually mentioned that even when he was governor of Lagos State, it was abysmal. Now, Fashola came and then cleaned up some of the messes that he made. It was always about politicking for him. That's the game Tinubu always played. It was about politicking, not about governance. It's about where he wants to be at any given point in time, and how he will use the system to play the politics of it, whilst he ruined the nation at large. So you guys have seen exactly what he did in Lagos State. It's exactly what is now brought on the national frontiers. So you can now say, for truth, indeed, this is a criminality against our constitution. By the way, The judiciary is not left out of this blame, because they should have picked up this case from the get-go, but they kept quiet. So the judiciary plays a lot of role in all of this criminality, in its quietness, in its inability not to interpret what the Constitution says. And the Supreme Court, in quote, that we have as another criminal, layer of our government, has kept quiet. And now when we get to September, they will say it's all academic. I don't know what you think, but put your comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think about what has happened so far and what is happening with Rivers State. If you agree, don't forget to like, share. Please subscribe if you've not done so. I recommend this channel. I'll catch you up later. Bye-bye for now.